Hi friends! As you can see, we have a special guest today. It's Sable. Oh, she's probably going to run off at some point. Okay, today's video topic is going to be planning, specifically goals, but anything for the year 2021. As you know, planning is the inspiration for January. So I thought I would go through a list of, let's say, about 5 ideas going forward that can help you plan for 2021. You ready to get down? Ready to get down? Just get down. Maybe? Okay. She'll probably be back and forth, so forgive me. The first tip is to let go of 2020. As we all know, we want to kick 2020 to the curb. It was a terrible year for every one of us, the entire world. So I think just kicking that to the curb, getting rid of it. Look who's back. No Sable, play in a second. And that's all about getting into a good mindset. You want to believe that 2021 will be better. You have to fight for that. And it doesn't matter how many goals you put into preparation, how much planning you do. If you don't really genuinely think things will get better, then they won't. I kind of think of, at least here in America, we unfortunately had the little bit of a crisis of the terrorist attack, the internal terrorist attack on the Capitol building. And we could project that mentally into being a continuation of 2020, the bad stuff moving forward. And let's be realistic here. The change of a year does not change everything. So we have to really look at that and have a different perception on it. We can't have the mindset, oh, well, 2020 is leaking over into 2021. Let's visualize that as this is the final point of the chaos ending at the beginning of 2021. So getting that mind space, moving forward, letting go of 2020. Next, part of planning your goals for 2021, or any year really, are SMART goals. And we did a video about that previously. I'll maybe link it in the comment section, and I also have some information about SMART goals on my blog. You can check that out as well. I'll link that below. SMART goals are one of the best systems I found for setting up any sort of goals. It's about being specific, creating measurable goals, putting them in a time frame, and all of that is very important for making goals that are achievable. Next up, my next tip, something that I do feel like SMART goals are missing, is accountability. If there was a way you could throw another A in there somewhere, SMART. Accountability is definitely something that I think SMART goals are missing. And there's just something to be said about accountability with another person. I am terribly lacking in this. I'm giving you this list of ways you can set goals and planning, and I'm amazing at this, I'll be honest with you. But my accountability and pull through, especially with things that are specific to me and are my responsibilities for myself, I fail at. And that's because I don't have accountability. But unfortunately, I've yet to master that part in my life. But accountability is really making sure other people are aware of what you're trying to achieve, and they will hold you accountable for that. Like if you're losing weight, let them know so they can call you out and be like, hey, is that on your eating plan? Or did you go for your run today? I have a tendency to not find accountability purposely because I'm afraid of failure. I am embarrassed by failure, which is unfortunate, and which realistically is the whole point of accountability, is that you don't want to fail in somebody else's eyes, and being held accountable for that, you don't want to fail, so you push forward. Unfortunately, because I am so embarrassed about that, I usually will not tell somebody I'm trying to reach for something until I've won. That way, if I do lose or don't achieve something, then they don't have to know and I won't be embarrassed. And that's a terrible way of looking at things. I need to get past that mental block so that I can bring accountability in my life. My next idea would be to get a planner. Now that's very old school from people who are digital. I'm actually starting to move over into keeping my planner and my schedule in my phone, which is it's honestly something I never thought I would do. That was one of the last things, that and physical books are the last things that I'm holding on to when it comes to being a millennial. But I'm slowly starting to shift over my phone, and I'm starting to put it in my brain, don't do that. Go back to the way you were doing before, because being able to physically write something down just adds something to it. You can edit your day, you can reschedule, and yes, you can do that all on your phone, but sometimes it's just a little trickier, a little more complicated. And there is just something incredible about being able to check off something when you write it in a notebook or have it put somewhere where it's visually in your face all the time. Sometimes I almost feel like when you put something on your phone, it's too much in your face, that it almost blends to the background. You kind of forget it's even there, that you don't see it anymore because it's always there. So having it written down is a way to always have it there, but also kind of step away from it a little bit and then come back to it with like, oh yeah, I was working on that. Let's get started on that again. My next idea is to create a schedule. Now, my career was event planning. My degree is in hospitality. I did a lot of event planning. I've done over 40 weddings. I've done educational events. I've done conventions. I've worked on government related events as well. So that's kind of my past. That's my history. So planning is my thing. Scheduling is my thing. And I will actually throw in some of what I do with my daily scheduling in here, some images, because it'll be kind of hard to explain. But this is kind of the tip where we're going to go the most into, because this is a big one for me. And I think this really is a cornerstone of bringing in your SMART goals and writing them out, making them very realistic so you can chase them. So in creating your schedule, first of all, you need to create those goals. What are you trying to achieve? And once you break those down with your SMART goals, that'll kind of give you a roadmap. And you can then break that roadmap down into what do you need to do monthly? What do you need to do daily? Maybe weekly? Something like that. Mine is usually based around a weekly setup, which again, I'll show you images of that. So kind of break that down and create like tasks. Obviously, we all have tasks every day, whether we go to work, right now maybe not because of COVID, but go to work, get up at a certain time, create that schedule for yourself. Add in your tasks that will help you work on your goal. Add that into your daily tasks, your weekly, your monthly, maybe one-time actions that you need to take to achieve your goal. So, and behind that is creating a schedule. I use Excel, and I'll show you my schedule as well. Sometimes it probably is a little psychotic. It's a little OCD. I use what are called time blocks, and you will see it color coordinated, different sessions where I block out portions of time, and I use that time strictly, like for whatever the activity is. That way I don't overindulge in a certain activity and underindulge in another one, or just not complete things at all. That being said, flexibility is the next tip under the creative schedule. You may make these daily, weekly, monthly goals, and you may create the perfect schedule, and trying to stick by that is absolutely essential to reaching your goals, but you do have to have some flexibility in there. Life happens. We all know it. You may not be able to reach all your goals for that day for some reason, or that week, or that month, or maybe you have to change up a goal completely. That doesn't make you a failure. What makes you a failure is you stop everything completely and don't keep moving forward. So don't do that. Be flexible enough to say to yourself, okay, this isn't working this way. I need to change it up. We need to go forward. Life happens. So be flexible in that. And that'll kind of bring me to my next little bonus tip, and that's touching base with yourself routinely. I would say touching base every day is a little excessive. I try to look at my goals once a week to kind of see where I'm at. Am I still reaching my daily goals? Am I still reaching my weekly goals? Am I still on task? What can I change up? Is something not working? That's where I come back to being flexible. If you're looking at one of your goals, like maybe there's daily tasks you put in towards something you're trying to achieve, and you're realizing you're not sticking with it. It's not realistic for you. Maybe it's a mindset thing. Maybe it generally is not something you have time for. Maybe you have to spread it out a few more days, like 3 times a week rather than daily. So touching base with yourself every so often helps you stay on track. I used to not do that. I used to just set a goal, and I wouldn't even necessarily check in on that goal until it came to the time when I was supposed to already achieved it, and then I realized I didn't. Because somewhere along the line I fell off track. So always do a touch base with yourself, maybe weekly, monthly, depending on how far apart your goals are that you're trying to achieve, and kind of check in with yourself. Make sure everything's still going the way you want it to. Make sure if those goals are still working out for you. I have goals, and once again, like I keep saying, I'll show you pictures of them, but I have goals going years in advance that break down to monthly, that break down to weekly, and then daily. And every now and again, more than every now and again, really, I have to be flexible and change them all the time. COVID probably is one of the biggest changers. A lot of portions of my goals were social and volunteer related, and unfortunately, I'm unable to do those things because of COVID. Life happens. It sucks, but when you're in those situations and you can't work on the things that you want to, maybe there's other areas of your life where you can focus your energy on. That's being flexible. So those were my tips for you for planning for 2021 and making it your year, because it's going to be all of our years and we are going to make it great. Mindset. Kick out 2020. Okay, that was our video for today, guys. If you liked it, go ahead and hit the thumbs up, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I look forward to hearing from you. Make 2021 your year. And that's inspiring.